we're here today to talk about the state of FGC content creation when it comes towards specifically the North American side. Uh, this whole conversation started on Twitter when Giuna. Let me get you guys the exact tweet, so I'm not putting words in my man's mouth. When he tweeted out this tweet right here. See if you guys can. Oh, okay, here we go. This tweet right here. Let me move this out the way. CR Cup destroying Western FGC viewership once again. And this is only on Twitch. Now, his tweet caught the attention of one punk, in which I can just go back, in which he stated, why it got to be a competition for viewerships. Shouldn't we be just happy for fighting game viewers? Views are up, and it's a big event in Japan they've been training for. And then it led to a bunch of back and forth between the two that still has been going on since up until 7 hours ago. And even yeah, it's been going on for a minute. Even Majin Obama came in with his tweet to state, not a competition, never has been. This point is taking the time to consider, is our approach to content at this important moment in time a little static and complacent when it comes to trying and attracting new players to our games? And are we really taking advantage of the momentum? And then Punk responded to him. And then I guess he gave his last piece on it when he said this: rather do still content than be stuck at 80K subs for about 5 years, begging on Twitter for subs and liked subs and still can't get them. So, hold on. You're I joining me to expand on this conversation, I have the homie Avatar Yaya. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the stream real quick. Should be live. You're good.
Okay.
All right.
All right. What's good, y'all? So, this has been a conversation that I've been somewhat passionate about for the past couple of years. I've been a content creator that's been all around every different genre within fighting games, from platform fighters to arena fighters to 2D to even 3D. I love them all, right? And I think that in some cases, there's a lot of going wrong. There's a lot back and forth, and not a lot being obviously heard, and some things just obviously missed.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely feel that. Now I come at this from a really different perspective, considering that I started my journey as a player, like a strictly competitive player, and so um, I'm of the of of I don't have like the background that Yaya does when it comes to being more so content. You were more focused on content than you were competing, right? I know you competed in Smash, right?
I play Smash first and foremost, and then if I had to be honest, I was very passionate about competitive Smash, right?
Right.
First and foremost.
Okay.
And then I realized, hey man, I'm getting older, and I don't know how this really works, so I'm just gonna make content. So, until I get that balance, I'll say I'll primarily focus on content
Okay. So you're
right now.
primarily focused on content. Well, yeah, my primary focus is on competing, but I still do content on the side, and so I have a bit of a perspective on this type of issue, but my major focus is on the competitive and becoming better as a player. And so I want to ask you about this. Uh when what were your initial thoughts about the tweet that Giona tweeted? Like, do you think it was worded properly? For me personally, I believe that it could have been worded a little bit better. And maybe it might not have led to the situation, but I'm also of the mindset that some people just are
See,
are going to take what they're going to take on Twitter and just run with whatever narrative they make up in their head on it. So I do
So
want your thoughts on that.
the original two were genuine and talking about the CR Cup destroying Western FGC viewership once again. I think my whole perspective on that, what makes it interesting, is that like Giuna, Obama, they live in Japan,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So now that people know that they live in Japan, right, it's easier for people to just be like, "Oh, Japan good, U.S. bad." You know that meme with the ugly little drawn
Oh
face,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
That one for sure.
that's how Twitter was gonna take it regardless, because that they already know they from Japan and whatever, even though they were born in the USA, but since they've been there for so long and it's been pushed in that regard, people know that they are in Japan, and they're like, "Oh, why are you all on Japan's nuts like that?" Right? And I think the tweet itself comes off as it can come off very condescending because it's like, yeah, Japan cooking,
Right.
Western
Yeah.
FGC, but Jayuna has also been talking about like this over and over again prior to this, right? He's done
Yeah.
this multiple times, like tweeted out like, Western like Japan FGC going crazy, right? Like that's the huge difference there. That is my problem with Jayuna side of the tweet,
Right.
right?
Yeah. And I can definitely understand that. Um, it could come across as that, but I'm of the opinion that sometimes you got to look past your biases and just at least look at the message. The underlying message is kind of true, especially when you look at the whole totality of what they're doing. Remove CR Cup in general. Just take a look at their SFL. It's a bigger event
Right.
over there than ours is over here. The minute ours gets an out, people are gonna be like, okay, that's cool. No one's gonna watch that. But when you look at the Japanese SFL, um, I I I'd be up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, popping in on a YouTube stream. They're getting about 30, 40,000 viewers just from that region alone in terms of for their SFL. And so it's obviously they're doing something right to where we I think our last one I wasn't really sure the average, but it was definitely under 10K. I'm pretty sure. And to see like the stark contrast in a region that has I would say I would like to think less players. Yeah, it does. I would say it has less players in terms of people playing than we do, and then it had
Yeah.
yeah, I would definitely say that. And in terms of uh fan base, I can't really quantify that. But it is interesting that they have a bigger
Well,
yeah, yeah,
I can cheat that for
yeah.
you. I can cheat that for you, right?
Okay.
What Japanese fighting game YouTuber got 1 million subs?
1 million
Well,
subs.
yeah, and why we got Maximilian? You could count Maximilian
Okay,
being
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. Okay,
outlier.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. Go ahead.
you
Yeah,
know.
okay, yeah. You cooking with that for sure, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
We have
So it's like,
a bigger fan base when it comes to fighting game. Because when you said that, I couldn't think of anyone off the top of my head, despite some of the players making content. Uh, and so the disparity when it comes to the fan base is based on that is there. And so it's crazy to think about that. Um, what are your kind of like your thoughts about that in terms of like what do you feel like they're doing right and as opposed to what we're doing? Like I guess I wouldn't say wrong, but what we could maybe do better.
um, I don't know. I feel like the culture of Japan, they have more of a balance, while we're so like, and this might be just from my lens, so don't get too stuck up on what I'm about to say. But I think Japan has this good balance of like, all right, competition and fun, right? And we don't have people looking at the fun type of stuff. It's like for example, and I don't know if this is the right way to say it, so I do apologize, but
Okay.
I feel like we have a glorification of like it has to be competitive, it has to be this, right? And our culture is different. Like the way we work versus how Japan works. we trying to get there, and I'm putting up quotations as I say trying.
Right.
Whereas like Japan may be completely different in some regards of how their work life structure is, and a lot of people over here, I think what they're doing is they're making these events for like for everybody, not just like throwing out like the random AT&T event, once a year,
Yeah.
or getting like if we had people all from all walks of YouTube and stuff and work together, we could be bigger in those type of events,
Right.
etc. So it's just like it's one of those things where it's just, if I had to give my honest opinion, Japan has more fun content than what and you could tell the disparity with like Street Fighter. Like if you look on YouTube, like you don't see the fun content type of stuff. You'll see like you might find those videos, but they're buried deep within the YouTube algorithm and stuff like that. And it's also kind of weird to me. And this happened like a week ago. Shout out to Nihongo Gamer, but this happened with like the Under Night
The other night,
scene.
yeah, yeah.
And essentially, like I agree 100% with Nihongo, because him saying that should have lit a fire. It may have been mean to say call somebody lazy. Nobody likes to be called lazy.
Yeah.
But the concept of he doesn't want to have a game that he loves have 200 players when they come out.
Right.
So in that case, right, Japan, they'll make the memes and stuff and they'll put it on YouTube. Some of the FGC get mad, like the others, they always like, all right, why won't y'all put y'all content on YouTube? And nobody replied. Like, that doesn't make sense. Why are you making content and not putting it on the biggest video platform in the world? Like that's stupid to me. Like I just think that's dumb. Like, yeah, you making content, etc. Right?
Yeah.
You like
Right.
what
For
it
sure.
won't get seen and stuff like that. Twitter might not get seen if you ain't got the right people who see it or retweet it.
Right.
So it's like you make content. Why not just diversify the content? And it's like, well, I got a Twitter. I'll post this here, right?
Right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The TikTok community of fighting gamers are better than probably most of the YouTubers, because they do a lot of diversifying in the content and teaching people. And
Right.
that's the beauty of making, you know, content accessible to people. We just have this whole bent on, and I'm not saying this for everybody, because we got content like right now, right? What's his name? The Russian Badger. If you ever know who that is, he's a big
Nah, I don't know who that
YouTuber.
is.
Yeah, but he just dropped the best Marvel vs. Capcom video of 2023. People don't even know that.
Dang, I didn't even know that either. Hold on, I might have to check it out later.
Yeah, the Russian Badger just dropped a Marvel 3 tournament out of
Okay.
nowhere, right?
Right.
And that video has 2.5 million views.
What?
Nobody.
Hold
Yeah,
on. Let
it
me
came out 7 days. Look, I can link you the video, bro.
go ahead and link me that video because I want to see this. That's crazy.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna DM it to you.
Yes, please.
But like, for example, we need more stuff like that, and it's hard to create that level of quality with content. Like the CM models, all that stuff. That is a hard sell to do
I
to
thought
a
it'd be
lot of
funny.
people, right?
Right.
I can't do stuff like that. I could probably find something and try to do it, but I don't have the skill set to make like models and move them around the way he does.
Yeah, this is 7 days ago. This is Marvel vs. Capcom 3, 2.5 million. That's crazy.
Right. Right. So in that case, like it's just like why are we not trying this? And that's the frustration with the content. Is like you could try to make a fun video about um like I shout out to my homie Soul, right? He made a whole video about losing a button in Street Fighter.
Oh.
That video, yeah, that video is amazing. But the algorithm doesn't want to see stuff like that. A lot of the algorithm on YouTube want to see negative stuff. So what everybody talking about negatively right now with Street Fighters is modern controls, drive rush, inputs, and pro players beating somebody a stupid way. Like that's literally the content.
Yeah. And I definitely I saw the video and I actually I said something about this in the Discord call when I just randomly I watched the video and just randomly just said it because there was a couple of us in there. I just said, hey, I don't know if the FGC supports good content. Now, good is very much subjective
Right.
for an individual because some people can find, I don't know, they might get enjoyment out of Punk's videos and they might think it's good. Um, they might get an enjoyment out of a dude just talking on camera, and that could be good to them. But I really thought about it. And I was like, man, I don't think the FGC supports content that I think would be deemed good, that's unique, and that's different from what's outside the standard box of, oh, I'm in this tournament. Here's my tournament run. Ha ha ha. Funny memes into
Yeah.
the tournament run, or oh, I'm playing master rank. I'm getting master rank for every character. Here's these series of videos, me just playing rank and grinding rank, or well, just whatever else the standard right now in terms of the FGC content space specifically here. Now, I do want to circle right back to what you were saying
Mhm.
about Japan and how they have a different perspective in terms of content, and they're willing to do more unique things. Um, I think it was an FGC translated video that I was watching, and Daigo, I believe Daigo was talking about his duty as a pro player, and he himself, I gotta find the exact video. I think it was over a
Mhm.
year or two ago. He mentioned that he started streaming 8 hours a day because he felt that it was his duty as a pro, and then so he has that mindset. Then there was a an article by Red Bull for Bonchan, where Bonchan this was during Street Fighter Five, where everybody was like, "Oh, Street Fighter Five's bad" or whatnot, you know, it's trashing Street Fighter Five. Bonchan went on record was saying, "Hey, he was doing his little tours for different regions in Japan, you know, playing different people in the different regions, and he was saying, "Hey, it's my duty as a pro player to keep the game that I love alive." And so ingrained with them is this this how do I put this like this mindset, we would just say mindset, right, that it's their duty to do these things to grow the stream because it's out of passion or love. And then even like people like Tokuda, I've been watching some of his content. He recently dropped a video where it was just a leveless video. So he has his little character. I don't know if you watch Tokido's videos. He has his character where he's wearing the lab coat and, and he's doing like videos where he's explaining things in game. So he's like the scientist or something like
Yeah.
that. And so
Oh,
yeah, so he dropped the levelers video, and then he also had his video series where he was teaching Japanese players English words, uh, basically giving them English lessons, and he was making fun little skits out of it, and it was so funny to see, and so it like the dynamic between what they perceive they should be doing is quite different than what we feel like we should be doing as pros. I feel like we just think, hey, I just need to play in tournament, show up or whatever. I don't need to do anything else. But I think that is not the best mindset to have because I feel I don't know if you I don't know how you feel on this side of the spectrum, but I feel personally that right now as a player, you just can't get by being a a tournament player. You should have it is like right where we are in this point. You should have an obligation to try to make the scene grow as big as
yeah.
it can because it not only benefits the scene, but it's going to benefit you. Like it's going to benefit your pockets. And so I don't see how players they don't understand this. They just think, well, I got my I don't know my 100K plaque on YouTube. I'm good and chilling. Well, I'm thinking, hey, a lot of these guys could have been bigger than what they already are, um, uh, based on their competitive history, on in terms of like their accolades. I feel like
Right.
they could have you leveraged those better in terms of creating more unique content or ways to help grow the scene, and like I said, not just help grow the stream, but help grow their brand and also help put more money in their pocket and also make this a bigger thing for everyone else, because there's only a certain amount of people that are eating it specifically here in our region. But when I look at Japan, there's a lot of people that are sponsored that you would think as a player that they're lesser in terms of maybe like skill level between a taekwondo and whatnot, but there's all sorts of players that are like randomly sponsored. I feel like there's a better ecosystem when it comes to that, and I think it all stems from the mindset that they have when it comes to, they feel like it's their obligation and their duty to do these type of things. So I just kind of want to know, like, what are your thoughts on just that in general?
So here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
A channel that I aspire, like I'm very motivated by,
Right.
and it's in the back of my mind, but I don't really talk about it. But I may as well say it now. Not Tokido. Kazunoko
Yeah.
is one of the channels that I love
Right.
because not only is he playing his main games, he's also pushing arena fighters. He's been pushing like arena fighters or Muso games. He's been playing them games, man. You know, like he only, if you go to his YouTube channel, you will see like, all right now it's Street Fighter season,
Right.
but he also plays Strive. Then there's times where he has playlists of other games. He's playing Texas Chainsaw, F-Zero, but he's just overall entertaining altogether, right? And I can't understand them, but I understand the way they make content, the way they think about content is different from how we do content. Whereas like let's say Street Fighter, right?
Right.
Street Fighter content only pertains into a certain range of content. But then again, like our culture, our mindset and lifestyle, and the way YouTube and algorithms work, right? Like it does kind of forces us to do these type of things where like I don't agree with the whole content of the comment Punk said where he said stale content because I understand it's like working if you gotta work, you know, until
Right.
some extent.
Right.
So it's like getting those videos out and imagine spending so much time on the video and then nobody watching it. But then
I
again,
know that feeling.
yeah, like we all go. Like I've had like literally my last video for my MK. Now, albeit it was my fault, right?
Right.
Because I did dilly dally a little bit the day before that, and
Right.
maybe it probably would have popped off if I had it out earlier.
Right.
But um, you know, life, mental. You sometimes I'm just not gonna stress myself about a video,
Right.
and I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
even get mad about content flopping now because the
Yeah.
people that do watch it cool. The people that missed out, oh fuck, well, man, you just missed out, you know.
Right.
So in that case, like I just be like, all right, this video ain't pop off. I'm gonna do better next time. I'm not gonna cry about it because I used to be so angry and mad about it, but um, it's one of those things that can be discouraging. But as long as you realize as a creator that you can even do better next time and what you messed up on, like that's a good thing to know as well.
Right.
Um, I think the way we think of content is like just doing the bare minimum while looking at the Japan. And I'm mind everybody. Why as I say this, I am not the person like I know there's a lot of people like this, but I do not like glazing Japan. Okay, I'm gonna say it like that because in a way, I respect Japan and the way they play games. But me coming from Smash community, right? I've beaten Japanese players. They do not impress me. They just playing the game like us. They not on a higher pedestal or nothing,
Right.
right? Because
Yeah.
I know the way they play the game is interesting, but I know that like at the same time, I also respect how I like the game or how I play the game or how we play the game. It doesn't
Right.
really bother me in that way. But I think just from a content look and perspective, man, I don't know. I just think the way we go about content a lot of the cases is just not as cool as Japan does it. Whereas like okay, if I and I'm gonna shout out some creators. I'm not hating on nobody's content because I don't think nobody's content is better than whoever's content. If I was at a million, I'd probably be talking shit, but I ain't
Right.
there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the thing. That's the truth of the matter. But content is subjective. For me, I don't need somebody to have a highly edited video, right, to be a good video. All right. For example, say Jam to me, his videos are just talking, right?
Yeah.
But the way he articulates and expresses and breaks down the content in those videos is outstanding, right? Where I could sit there and watch a whole video all the way through, right? Everybody can't do that.
Yeah.
Some people need edits to keep people entertained, or some people don't like their voice, so they have to do edits to keep the viewer entertained. And I
Right.
understand that. But I think the big problem is we're not doing stuff like for example, right? This is something I noticed about Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat content is league stronger than Street Fighter content because the game is made as a game. People like everybody cares about primarily, and that's the benefit of having a game being more focused on the casual side of things than um just the fighting game. And as a competitor, I respect that y'all see that, like see it that way. But it's also not healthy for the game in the long run. Because if people don't care about competitive matches like that, that about fighting games, and casuals keep fighting games alive.
Yeah.
That's something that people don't want to admit to. A lot of people probably don't think that. It's the casual people that keep the games alive because they just having fun hitting buttons with their friends. And when you give them more content, you create an ecosystem to where the creators and the streamers can make more stuff from the game. And Mortal Kombat, what I really admire about Mortal Kombat community was like, dang man, like dude that won Evo, the dude that just got top 8 at CEO, right? I'll give you a prime example.
Okay.
Dude that got top 8 at CEO 2023 in MK. I DM'd him after he won his match, right? I was like, hey, what's your controller layout settings, etc., yada yada.
Right. Right.
He replied to me instantly. If I did that in Street Fighter, I either get ignored or I probably won't get none until a week later. Like a lot of the Street Fighter community are so like I'm not even trying to sound like a hater, but I know a lot of them. It is hard to get in touch with Street Fighter. There are
Yeah.
some people even at my size that I just can't get in touch with.
Yeah, I would definitely say that, especially as someone that's been in specifically the Street Fighter space for a long time. It's definitely is kind of hard to get on the radar of certain people.
Hmm. Yeah, and I just I just generally think like the way we tackle content can be massively stale. Like, and I don't have a problem with it because it works, right? Like what I've been doing with Street Fighter, and I feel like that's been my big success. And y'all gonna laugh at this, but my whole strategy is based off of light camera pants, the SpongeBob game, right? So,
Like,
so you probably like y'all probably like what the hell? So in that game, if you haven't played it, it's a party game, but they do a lot of parodies of stuff like that, right?
yeah,
And essentially what I've been doing is I've been using like to drive a nailing point, like say for instance, like modern controls versus classic controls, you know, and I would do something like Aaron, fighting the Titan, the normal Titan, and
right,
you know how they kill the normal Titans in Attack on Titan, right?
right,
So I on Aaron, I make Aaron look like the modern control because he cooking them like the montage. He
yeah,
just cooking all the classics, which are the Titans. So I'm using what I'm trying to use a lot of the times when I make those big videos. I'm trying to bring people in to understand the association of like the idea. So if you see a thumbnail from me or watch the video, you get the reference in a Street Fighter way. One of my
right.
favorite Street Fighter 6 videos I made recently was I made a Kingdom Hearts themed video, right?
Okay,
And essentially what I did in that video, my big thing is why I haven't been competing. Like in my mind, it felt like a huge waste of time, right? Like going to events, going to tournaments, going there losing the money, right? And I came to realization I was like, dang, I like competing, but in my brain I'm just never good enough, right? And that's a life thing that I've went through personally, where I
right,
would go like, right, um, yeah, but I made the Kingdom Hearts video, and like if you ever play Kingdom Hearts 1 chat or anybody, y'all would know straight up that I'm very big on Kingdom. Like Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorite things, period. But what I did was I told it through the story of like everything is confused. So I made the vlog in a way to where I felt like, yo, I'm like going through it because I'm in this long Evo line,
right,
and like now it's sitting in, this anxiety's kicking in, and in like Kingdom Hearts where he's like, I had all these weird thoughts lately. Is any of this for real? Like that's what reminds me of standing in that Evo line and getting in the crowd for Street Fighter. And you got to realize Street Fighter had what 7,000 people.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, it was pretty. Yeah,
walking in that environment, like my like I was getting so nervous because I was like, dang, what if I go? My only goal was like, I don't want to go 0-2, bro. That was like my goal. I was like, this is my first Street Fighter tournament. I can't go outside, like
right.
So in my mind, I was like, okay, I can't lose the way I'm thinking I'm gonna go down like this. But then I just came to realize, shout out to Anya Tekken, and I keep shouting up every time I think about this video because this video makes me want to compete even more. I don't. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't think of competition this way, and I think if the FGC thought of it this way, we might change. Competition is serious and it has a lot of mental stack to it. I don't care about that no more. I want to do cool stuff on people and bracket. Like I just want a sauce. That's all I want. Right? I
Hey, yeah,
live for
yeah.
those moments. I live for those moments. I love seeing just like cool mix. I love seeing stuff like that. People capitalize on things like that. And I've came to realize competitors at the end of the day are also performers.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
And
That's an interesting way to think about it. I've never really thought about that. I've always thought of, oh, I'm going in, I'm competing just to compete, and I'm just trying to play to win. But uh,
But but
yeah,
here's the truth about it, right? Not everybody gets on stream, so it's hard for people to even think of it that way, right?
yeah,
Or even get up there. But then I think about some of the coolest moments, right? And each player has a moment that I can think of on stream that idolize them as who they are today, right? From Punk being I'm the alpha, I'm the best, to
yeah,
Daigo with the Justin, Evo Moment 37,
yeah.
to Tokido beating somebody in Street Fighter 4 and then standing up in front of the
And
projector
then doing the
with the
demon,
video,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, doing a demon. Like even people that just don't do much, like pop up their phone and have a message on it, that adds the personality to competing. And what that does for me, it completely takes off the anxiety. And I even have the footage. I'll send you the footage too. But my second match, I was like, wait a minute, let me just have fun. And I was just trolling the JP player and bracket with Cammy, like, because I was just like spinning knuckle, and then Huey was like, "Yo, that's some young mirror." She's like, I was like, you know what? Drive impact, and I just kept doing it. He kept getting hit every time he kept trying to go for it. So it was like a fun time, but like my brain was like, you know what? This is working. I can still focus, and I'm not going through it. And that's how I just unlocked it for me. And I just think like for a lot of people, they may not see it in that regards, etc. But I don't know. I definitely think the way we view content creation, and it's not everybody's intention because let's be real, some of the best players that do content, even in other communities, they have like highlights and then it goes into gameplay.
yeah,
And when it comes to like tournaments, what would be super cool is saying like have like what I would do, and see, I'm giving the FGC game. I shouldn't even get it to him, but look, like Valorant pros play Street Fighter 6, right?
right, yeah,
Minecraft, biggest Minecraft YouTubers versus the biggest Pokemon YouTubers and Street Fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes,
stuff like
something
that.
like
We
that,
don't
yeah.
do that. We had an AT&T Cup, but it'd be like the same people in the AT&T Cup, and like they ain't doing much because they mauled in the whole tournament. Most of them mauled in. 2% of them learning, and three just like this game too hard. So it's
Yeah,
like,
I feel like with that, um, a lot of the people they just didn't care. They were just playing the game, whatever game it is, just to play the game. I think with having that type of idea, we would want to get people that are interested, at least interested in like learning, because there are people that are big in terms of content creation that are interested in learning the game. Moist Critical was one of them.
mhm.
Kizzy did a video with him, which was really good. But I feel like we could have followed up on that better. Just like you were saying, we should be doing more of those. But the biggest issue with that would be getting people that are willing to learn and that are just interested enough in Street Fighter to want to put on the show for people.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. Um, when it comes to content, hosting these events, and you know what's funny, right, about this whole talk about how we do content, etc. that whole discourse, right?
Yeah.
So Sajam came out and said 2 hours ago, he's like, to the Obama tweet about the
Oh, so he
competition and
just
stuff like,
dropped his response. So I'm interested to
yeah,
seeing Say John's response. Let me pull it. You can go ahead and read it off. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up.
yeah, yeah. So it's his last tweet. Sajam said, I've mentioned it a few times, but I pitched the same kind of format 2 to 3 times over here to different companies, and y'all decided on traditional events. Will be great to see it tried over here. Now, now here's a hot take, right?
You're right.
I wish the whole FGC would get off of Twitch.
I've been. Oh man, I said this yesterday. I literally said this yesterday when I was talking to my stream. I was like, they asked me, "Hey, what platform do you feel is the best to start on?" I was like, "Bro, if you're trying to start, you need to be on YouTube. Like, just flat out, just you need to be on YouTube."
So here's the thing, right? Let's put it like this.
Right.
So this crazy raccoon cup, I'm looking at it, has 79K people watching it.
Right.
And then the other one, right? The crazy raccoon one, the views on it, it has 869K. You know that turns into video money, right? It turns into revenue.
Mm-hmm.
You're funding
Yep.
yourself putting on these events.
Yep. So yeah, this is a Sage Jam tweet for those of you that seen. Yeah. Um, it basically lives as an archive. I never really noticed the power of YouTube streams. You follow Roberto Blake, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I followed him and he was showing some of his analytics, and the analytics for the streams, by every metric, they don't make sense, right? So he was showing the click through rate from you know how you would want a higher click through rate, but for the click through rate for the stream, it was really low. But despite it having like metrics that we don't think make sense,
Mm-hmm.
it was doing well, generating revenue. And he was saying, hey, this is the power of like live streaming on YouTube, and then doing something and then just leaving it out there as like a video, because if it's a hot button issue or a hot button topic or something that people are searching for, you can really take advantage of the SEO, and it'll get pushed by the algorithm. And so that's why I was telling people on my stream, hey, you guys need to be on YouTube. If you wanted to stream, get on YouTube. Make the videos, make make your shorts or whatever. Put your SEO on here. And if you want to move platforms, I was saying, hey, I was telling them, hey, I think you should move platforms to Kick, because I like what they're doing in terms of their monetization. But in terms of just starting out, I was thinking, yeah, YouTube is definitely the move.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I 100% agree with the FGC getting off Twitch. But I don't think it's gonna happen though.
I know it's not. I know it's not.
It's not gonna happen.
Because the big thing is the culture is there on Twitch with the subs and donations. But I think with YouTube, what's the beauty of YouTube is that after you finish streaming, it turns into a VOD.
Yeah, it turns into a VOD, and then you can also edit that VOD down to where you can just cut out like the filler with the YouTube editor, so you don't even have to worry about editing in a software. You can just cut it out, cut it on the back end on the web. And what is also funny about that though is, we might not be moving, but there are players, like Japanese players, are moving over to YouTube. Tokido just announced that he's moving over to YouTube, so the players are getting it over there. Once again, like they're getting it, but we over here, we just do what we want to, because do what we think is like the meta. Basically, we play meta, right? We don't want to explore other characters. We don't want to do anything else. The equivalent of what we do is we just play meta. Whatever seems good right now, whatever everybody else seems to be having success on, that's what we do. We don't think outside the box. And then when there are ideas that maybe seem a little bit wonky, it just, in terms of support, it just doesn't work out like that. Because I've had a couple of videos. I'm pretty sure you had a couple of videos that you just tried something different or whatever, and you didn't get what you thought you wanted in terms of numbers. Like I had videos like that, and it, as a creator, it is disheartening because you're like, man, I want to try something new. I want to try something different, but it doesn't seem like the community is kind of responding towards what I want, like what I want them to be excited about. And so I've kind of blocked that out of my mind and just said, you know what? Um, my whole philosophy is it's just if there's one person that got enjoyment out of the video, that's good. But at the same time, I just want to make the content that I make and I think it's cool. Whether that be unique or outside of the box or whatever, and people don't watch it, hey man, I put in an effort. I tried. I'm still going to keep making these ideas. So like low numbers or whatever, they're not going to discourage me for trying because I believe in at least attempting new things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I
And
think, if I'm not mistaken, YouTube can pay you more ways than Twitch can. I'm not mistaken, because YouTube, you have the merch stores.
oh yeah, that's right. You can link the merch stores too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what like why I'm still trying to fathom this. Like you have merch stores, you can link that merch stores. You have the super chats, whatever, your channel memberships, basically your subs. You have your ad revenue on both videos and shorts. It's crazy to me that people are treating YouTube as like it's just treating it as a side chick, basically. And they're trying to make their main income the Twitch or, streaming when they should be putting their effort into like being on YouTube and making their YouTube the best that it possibly can be. That's that's what I think. But they said we're gonna continue to do what we want to, unless we're gonna continue to do what we think is the meta, unless someone kind of steps outside the box and basically shows that a different way can be done.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so I do want to ask you this in terms
Yeah.
of uh I know you gave that idea about the whole the Minecrafts or versus top PokeTubers or anything or something like that or whatever. What are some other ideas that you think that maybe we should be trying some more ways to be more unique and creative in our content to possibly get more people outside the fighting game community to
I
watch?
think I think what we need to do is get more people that have an interest in fighting game but don't play them, and turn that into videos.
Okay.
So my big thing is I've done this on my channel. There's a person that got Street Fighter 6, but they bought it for the single player, the world tour,
Yeah.
and she's taking a break from it and whatever, because she's a variety creator at the end of the day.
Right.
So she doesn't want to be tied to just that game. But her journey, I got her from new challenger tier to silver 3 in Street Fighter 6. And for some people that may not be a big improvement, but
Yeah.
for a person that started like at bronze and then got all the way up to silver, I think she's almost gold now from where she left off, but um that's very big to me. People that don't know, my highest character is Diamond 2 Luke. So if you ask me that, reason why I stopped playing, I just don't like ranked.
Right.
That's right. I'd rather just grind with people in lobbies and stuff. And if I'm feeling dangerous that day, I'm gonna turn on ranked.
You gonna
But
turn on Reagan.
I'm gonna turn on ranked. But just maul that for an hour. But
Okay. Yeah.
I
That
don't
sounds.
know.
Yeah.
I think another big thing is showing that I think the biggest thing about fighting game content that a lot of people fail at is breaking down stigmas,
Yeah.
right? You could tell me why a game's good, but if people have perceived notions before this, right? You got to make people understand that this is accessible and easier to people. And I
Right.
honestly think modern controls is the answer. Busted, albeit if however you see that stuff, I do think it's a solid answer to making the games work for people, right? And at the end of the day, Leah, you got auto combos, but we're not gonna act like though everybody that's playing modern is using those auto combos, right? I'll admit I do use Cammy's light auto combo because it's so cheap because it's instant from low medium to
Yeah, no, a lot of
high.
those
Like
I've been messing with modern. A lot of those auto combos are super dumb because you can just you can OS the light ones to where
yeah,
you do the light and then if it don't hit, the special don't come out. It hit, the special comes out. So I
um,
modern is on something.
yeah. So that's what I say. I just be like, yo, I don't know. I just feel like if I don't want to say get off of Twitch, but I feel like if the FGC looked more into YouTube, things would be much better overall.
Yeah.
Because like for example, right? It feels stupid to stream Under Night on Twitch, like because they're niche games
Yeah, you're
and
not
the
gonna.
pool of
Yeah.
everything. But all the Under Night, the stuff people know about Under Night is on YouTube. The music.
Yeah.
It's right there, and it's probably going to redirect you in other ways.
Yeah, it's gonna redirect. The live stream suggestion might pop up. You might see, hey, oh, there's just somebody streaming live under night. Let me pop in and see what they're up to. I mean, I've had a couple of people do that in my streams where I've been streaming Street Fighter, and then even I had an influx of viewership when this was Street Fighter 5 when Champion Edition first came out. I was on YouTube and I was streaming, and like the night of that release or whatever it was like 12 a.m. or whatever in the morning, and it was just me streaming the patch, right? I had an influx of viewership that I didn't think was possible based on
Yeah.
me streaming the patch version of the game. And to me
Yeah.
that and to me that's kind of where I understood the power of YouTube. It's like, man, dang, something like this could happen. Boom, I'm streaming, and then people are watching videos, and then they get recommended my stream, and they come through, and they see who I am, they see what I'm doing, they see what I'm about, and and they vibe, and that's crazy to me that like that's possible, and like it's crazy to me that viewers can they just come to you, like you just gotta make sure your stream title is good, clickable thumbnail, etc. People will come into the stream. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But but it
I think you got it.
yeah, yeah, that stream was over here. That's what kind of made me think about it, because I got forced over to YouTube by chance. I don't know what happened with my Twitch account. There was one day I couldn't stream. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm as clean as possible. They just said, hey, you couldn't stream. I contacted my internet provider. They say, hey, you're not being blocked or anything like that. We're not doing any of that. So I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can stream on YouTube. Tried streaming on YouTube. I was like, okay, let me stay over here. That happened. I was like, yeah, for right now, like where I'm in, I think YouTube is like the best space to be on in terms of streaming. But I do want to like talk about this, like especially some of the pushback that people would say in terms of like, oh, trying unique content or whatnot. The biggest pushback that I've seen so far against like doing things differently is the fact that most people have this excuse that Japan has Street Fighter ingrained in their culture. Now, I have some thoughts on this, considering the fact that I think it's kind of wrong when you factor in everything. Like, for example, I don't even think Japan is like their biggest market in terms of sales, for sure. But the fact that the game has hip hop in it, which is more geared towards Western people, that it's mind-boggling that people would come to that conclusion, where it seems like every game, I guess since Third Strike, they were trying to make it more and more westernized in their approach. Street Fighter 4, they said, hey, we wanted to make it more westernized. 5, it's mind-boggling to me. If they're trying to make their game appeal to more Western people, that should mean that the biggest market isn't in Japan, it's in the West. So, like, what are your thoughts about that?
To to be fair, I'm a Street Fighter 6 OST hater.
Yeah,
So like the music when they drop the new stuff for like Royce the 5'9" and all those other artists,
yeah,
I don't know if it dropped already or not. When they drop that, then I can see things changing. But the music that they got in the game, it's like they won't give people the third strike sound
yeah,
that people love. And it's kind of this like electronic thing for it.
yeah.
And like I'm used to the OST now because I played the game a lot, at least 100
No,
plus
I
hours.
turn that thing off. You
I
will
mean,
never
it do be
catch me.
off.
You don't catch
Yeah.
me listening to the OST.
No, but I'm saying like in tournament and stuff like that,
Yeah,
like yeah, that's the type of stuff. But
but yeah, in terms of like it being more ingrained in their culture, like do you feel that? Because like I said, I don't feel that.
in Japan,
Yeah,
I feel like it's an adaptive thing,
yeah,
but I don't know. I feel like Japan is like they're very big on like the electronic hip hop mixes type beats.
right.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I get that. Like,
I can't really
yeah, yeah,
I don't agree with that because like let's be real. All right, let's
yeah,
just be real. Like
right,
fighting games are usually tailored towards. I can't say tailored towards. That's the wrong thing to say. But fighting games, the most of the player base is probably minority. Black, etc.
yeah. It
Right?
is.
So, so in that case, it's like the music. The music itself might come off like kind of corny for us over
Yeah,
here.
for us, it's corny, right? We think
Yeah,
it's
it's
corny.
corny.
You're right.
I
Yeah.
can't do it. Like the man, like I like the man. I used to love the man on the song until Edo brought up the dog thing with the whoop.
Woof woof. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's really what it's like. I can't unhear it. Like I'll be listening to something like, all right, this fire. And I hear the
Woof
dog
woof
barking. I
woof
turn it
woof.
off.
Yeah, like, nah,
Yeah,
I can't turn.
yeah. So it's like it just be blowing me. But I think Japan is their culture. Whatever they like, they adapt or try to make their own version of it.
Right.
Like a lot of like K-pop I hear has this like R&B kind of sound to it,
Yeah.
and it's like, ew, man, I don't know. It might be because it's so hard to answer that question right now because I can't really give you an answer to like the music itself, but I know when it comes to like how they act over there and they stuff, it's probably just one part
But
because
but in terms of like just the game in general, I like how do you feel? Now I personally had I I know someone that lives in Japan that was part of the well, I don't know them, but I had a chance to speak with someone that lives in Japan, Fubar Duck. I don't know if you know him.
right,
He's from Texas. He used to own a spot in Austin called Arcade UFO. He came down, I think it was like last year, and I was asking him about like the Japanese FGC in terms of like what it's like over there, and he was just saying, "Hey, man, what you think it is, it's not." Like he was now this was 2 years ago, and so obviously things have changed. But he was telling me that yeah, the like Street Fighter is not even the biggest thing over there. Like the biggest thing over there that is like Apex, and in terms of like a lot of the players they didn't even want to be over there. They wanted to be over here because uh for them you couldn't get money in tournaments unless you had a pro license, and so by default everyone over here is technically considered a pro. So whatever their pro license is just basically the equivalent of me just being able to go to an open bracket tournament and just being able to play and have the opportunity to win money without having being prohibited. So for them, it was a little bit more restrictive and a lot more red tape when it came to the certain things because of
oh,
how gaming was looked upon and how it was frowned upon. And so for me having that perspective, like I said, whenever I see people say, uh, hey, yeah, they have a scene of of supporting Street Fighter. I'm like, bro, you guys don't know. I've talked to people that live there, and I was asking the right questions because I really wanted to know, like legitimately wanted to know what it's like being over there. Well, like how different the scene is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so that's why I was pushing back on the whole idea that I don't think I just think it's just a built-in OS for people not to want to try to do something. Like it's just like, oh, it's Japan that they have a history of supporting Street Fighter. It's in their culture. No, no, it's not. When you actually talk to the people that live there, I mean, I'm pretty sure if people would have asked Giuna and Obama, they probably would have said some of the similar stuff. But instead of that, they just went in saying, hey, yeah, they're on Japan's nuts and all this other stuff, instead of taking the time to maybe even ask questions about like, hey, what's going on behind the scenes? Because I'm really interested to see like how that event in general just came to be. Like you have like some of the biggest streamers collaborating with some of the biggest pros, and to me that's crazy to see how a lot of these collabs are happening. Like
Yeah.
and it's also pretty interesting because like I do watch a lot of them, and they just like randomly they'll just be in Discord calls with people that are just learning the game, teaching them. Like it doesn't matter who they are in terms of like the pro. Like it could be a pro on a lower scale. I've been following Yosan. Shout out to all the jury bros. I randomly walked into his stream one day. He was teaching some girl jury. And I wanted to went in the Kawano stream one day randomly. He was teaching this cosplayer chick, Modern Luke, him and Kokujin. And so that's crazy to me. Like they have like a lot of this stuff that's just like randomly coming about. And I don't know like how these things are coming about, but I do feel like here we're not trying enough, and like we just by default we have like this defeatist attitude, or we don't even want to try it because we feel like, oh, they have everything over there. But that's not necessarily the case.
That's a lot of things with a lot of people here, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
people have this defeatist attitude, like, yeah, whatever, it ain't worth it. Don't try.
But
You
yeah,
know.
this is pretty interesting. So, yeah, I guess I mean I've said all I kind of wanted to say on that. Do you have any sort of like closing thoughts on
I
chicks?
think, I mean, I,
Hey, I'll tell you this though. That chick that he was Kawado was streaming with, her name is Aneko Cosplay. All I'm saying is this: go to her Twitter page. That's all I'm saying. don't,
I can't spell it. So I'm gonna just hold
She be
that
popping
here.
up on my For You feed. She has over a million followers on Twitter. All I know is this: go to her page, Aneko. I think it's like a Neko Chan or something like that. She be popping up on my timeline because I started following a lot of Japanese players to improve my Japanese. They started sending me random Japanese people on my timeline. I'm just saying, look her up. That's it.
Man, DM me that, bro. You're not gonna just DM me the sauce, bro.
I'll give you the sauce. Let me pull up the sauce. Here she is. Yeah, here she. Oh, yep. Here she is, right here. Let me give you the sauce real quick. I can't. I'm not gonna show it on. I'm not gonna show it on here because some of them. Yeah. No, I'm sending it to you, but I'm telling everyone else. Just look. I can't show it on here because, she has some risque pics. They're not like super like. She's not like an OnlyFans model, but she do have like some risque pics. So
Oh, I see what you mean.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah. Point stated.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something I want to do. I have a series that I'm working on for next year.
Yeah.
And it's called Yaya's Corner. I've done 2 episodes already, but I want to get more people that I reach out to on videos. And I think that's something I want to do personally. Like, I had a wild idea once. I was like, "Yo, if I could get Tiana Chomp to play Street Fighter with me, bro, that'd be fire." Like, I don't know why that was hard. That's just in my brain. Like, that's on fire if I could do that. Like, I don't know. Um, but that's the big
Yeah.
thing. I want to try to bridge the gap between people that don't play fighting games plus people that do.
Okay, so
So,
yeah, that's kind of like your, I guess you want to say your focus on.
well, my channel focus is I care about the competitive stuff, but I also want to break down the competitive stuff to people that don't play these games, right?
Right.
And I think that's a big thing that a lot of the FGC misses out on, where they just don't talk about, like, they don't know how to make things casualized because their brain has been so hardwired to, man, that's a blood three on black dude. Oh, he's not getting that big, he's mid. Like, stuff like that, right? That's how a lot of people see it. This
Yeah.
community is not welcoming. We are welcoming. Just play the game. And it's like, okay, you gonna help me get into the game? Do the tutorial. Oh, all right. So that's all I gotta say. Just be
Okay.
you. Keep innovating if you're trying to.
Yeah, I be out here trying though. I be trying, but it'd be a little bit discouraging to see the views, but uh, it is what it is. That's all we can do is just basically be the change that we want to see, and hopefully people would follow. And I do want to clarify this and say this. I know the title it is what it is because it is YouTube. I mean, you have to kind of do things to kind of be a little bit clickbaity. This is not like a hate on Punk or anyone that has
Yeah.
this like mindset or anything like that. This is just an open dialogue to say, hey guys, this is what maybe you should look at these ideas. Like, I have no ill will towards anybody. I just want to see the scene grow and to see how players are kind of pushing back on suggesting for ideas, whether it be they have a built-in excuse or they think uh, the people that are saying it, they shouldn't be saying it because whether for whatever reason they feel like they're riding Japan. But yeah, it's more so that, and it's coming from a place of like, hey guys, um, there's a lot of stuff that we can do better here because I want to see our SFL do the numbers that the Japanese SFL does. I want to see like 30K, 40K watching our SFL. But the way that we're going right now, and even in our tournaments outside of Evo and uh Combo Breaker and CEO, I want to see like those like tournaments get bigger viewership, and that's gonna and that comes with having a different mindset when it comes to doing things. We can't just keep doing things the way we are, and so that's kind of where I'm coming from when I did this stream or this video. Is like I want people to thrive and be successful in this space. And so yeah, that's kind of my heart. And so that's it. That's all I have to say. And like I said, if you haven't already, go follow my man Yaya socials. Oh, what's your socials? Go ahead and all of them. I know you really big on Twitter because you be getting a lot of a lot of engagement on Twitter.
I be chilling, bro. Sometimes
So
I just tweet stuff and then it just goes to the wall and I'm like, okay. And then I wake up from a nap and now I got 20 notifications.
you be having notifications. But yeah, follow my man Yaya on Twitter. He don't follow. He be starting the anime wars.
Cause they be saying stupid stuff. Like I'm at the point where, like, either I'm gonna delete Twitter or I'm gonna say something. Because, like, it's ruining my enjoyment. I'm not gonna lie. Twitter has almost made me not want to play fighting games and talk about anime. But then I'm like, you know what? Until they suspend me, I'm gonna spit. You laughing, but I'm for real. I'm tired of people, bro. Shut the hell up and just enjoy things, or just don't say none at all.
That's funny to me. No. But yeah, listen, go give him a follow on Twitter. Also the YouTube. Let me get the YouTube as well. I'll give him a follow on YouTube as well. He out here cooking on the content as well. He got more subscribers than me, a lot more.
No, okay, listen. Do not think like that. All right,
No, I'm just trolling.
no, I know you trolling, but some people think like that. So my thing is that, right? My channel, if you want to look at it anyway, it's been variety. I've covered
Yeah.
so many different games on my channel, right? So some videos gonna pop, some videos not. That's the
Yeah.
fate of this channel, right? But I know deep down that being tied to one thing exclusively bores the hell out of me sometimes. Like that's why I do one-off reviews or do other things in between that I want to talk about because I feel like it's just healthy for myself as a creator. What up? Forget all the YouTube antics and stuff like that. Like I don't care. I'm doing this primarily because it is a piece of income for me.
Yeah.
At the same time, I want to show that I'm authentic.
Right.
Right? I'm
Yeah.
more than just this one-dimensional person. I really hated when I was a Naruto Storm creator. A lot of people know me from Storm early on.
Right.
I hate that like I can't even escape it. Like I'm playing Mortal Kombat, buddy beat me. You gonna play Storm Connection?
You gonna play?
Bro, I don't want to play Naruto, bro. I'm not even thinking about it, bro. The game don't come out till November, and he beats me. He turns his mic on like the
first thing he does.
I'm a big fan of your content. You gonna play Storm Connection? I couldn't hear that, bro. You could have messaged me anywhere else, Discord, Twitter, Facebook, something. I couldn't hear that, bro. Let it rock till November, bro. I said I was gonna do it.
But it's, hey, you got panic content. Yo, you gonna play Storm?
Like,
bro, I'm dying. But yeah, give him a follow. Good dude, good content, etc. So that's gonna be it, guys. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Another stream. We'll be back to actually playing games and not having to have these type of discussions and content in terms of with content. So until then, I'll see you guys later.